What's up, YouTube? It's your boy Mark Dark, and I'm back with another video. If you're new, if you love power, go ahead and hit that subscribe button, like the video, and leave your theories, comments, everything down below. Now, tonight we're going to be talking about Power Book 2 Ghost, Episode 7. This is the recap. Now, I'm going to try my best to go over all the key facts in this episode. If I miss anything, you guys let me know. And as I told you guys in my quick thoughts video that I dropped earlier, this episode to me felt like a very good build up for episode 8. And if you were a fan of Power, if you know the history of Power, usually episode 5 is really good. And episode 8 usually is always action packed and something very big happens. So episode 8 is definitely an episode we got to be looking out for. We're going to talk about what we saw in this episode. So let's begin. Now, we saw, of course, the GTG boys click up with Kane, and of course Kane wants to start his own thing. He's tired of Monet and how she's running things, so he decided to go back to click up with the GTG boys. Now, of course, we did not see Little Guap, because I know everybody was asking if Little Guap was going to be in this episode. Will Kane be clicking up with him? But we did not see that. All we know is Kane is back with GTG as of right now. Kane did make a mistake by not covering up his full face. He got the COVID-19 mask on. He need a full face mask, as you see this guy right here, who a lot of people believe was Little Guap, but in this episode it doesn't appear that way, right? This guy, he decides to start shooting. Of course, he misses one of the guys that works at this church. He gets away, and that's how the officers later on in the episode came looking for Kane, because of course that dude went and he told, right? Kane is very pissed off. They just pretty much get up out of there, and you know this is going to be a hell of a story for Kane. Great beginning, right? Now we get to Riley, and of course she's getting the box ate out by your boy Brayden. He said, you know what, it's sex week and I'm gonna take full advantage of this week, and that's exactly what he's doing. He's having a hell of a time, but of course Tariq doesn't want to see this. We know Riley, she just wants to get more information out of Brayden. As you saw in this scene, she just wants to know the truth. Now Tariq is very pissed off. He's telling them, look, y'all look like 2 raw chicken cutlets. I'm like, damn, he really just said that. Your boy Brayden talking about, I'm just trying to get my swerve on. I'm like, okay. At the end of the day, at least Brayden is getting some type of action, so I gotta give him his props on that one. But at the same time, Riley cannot be trusted. Now, right before that, we learned that Tariq did not get into this fellowship program. He's very pissed off that he wasn't picked. And we know that Tariq was really counting on getting into this fellowship program because he wanted to graduate in 3 years. In order for him to get the rest of his father's estate, he needed to do this. And of course, Lauren is happy. She's in there. So of course, she can probably really care less. But at the same time, you can see on Tariq's face that he was very pissed off. Professor Milgram, she knows that he's upset about this, and she shows him some intention. And in your boy J. Kelly Jabari, he was one of these characters in this episode that was really getting on my nerves, because he's jealous of a kid. Like, really, you really have something wrong with you when you're jealous of a kid. Really? Now he goes and he tries to get help on his book, and he wants to help out with Professor Milgram. She tells him, look, she's going to be doing a new assignment with the kids, and maybe he can help out with this assignment by writing out these cards that we're going to figure out later on in the episode he's going to take complete advantage of. Now, Lorenzo, he's talking to Monet, and Monet wants to know, what did Lorenzo tell Kane? Because Kane hasn't been back ever since the last event that we saw, and we know that Kane is very emotional. Lorenzo's like, look, he's going to come back. Don't worry about nothing. Monet is like, look, I have a drop, and usually Kane is the one that does this drop. So hopefully he does come back, because if he doesn't, that's going to be a problem. Now, Simon Stern's partner, this guy, he's coming and he's trying to get some information about the app, because he has unfulfilled orders on this app that Tariq is not doing, right? So he gets this information. He tells Tariq, look, you better fulfill these orders or we're going to have a problem. And Tariq really has to do this because he does not want this app blowing up in his face. He does not want to be exposed. And I'm telling you right now, if this is to get out there, it's not going to look good for Tariq. So Rick has to put more pressure on Monet to get this product in order for him to fulfill these orders. But we know Kane is gone. He's the person that does the drop. So it's a problem. So Tariq definitely will be stepping up to the plate when it comes to that. Now, Cooper Saxe, Davis MacLean, we already discussed this scene a few days ago, but we know these two need another person to come on the stand. The two agree that they're still together on this plan, and the person that they're going to choose is no other than Paz, and she's back. Now, it shouldn't be no surprise. We went over some of these characters who can potentially come back. Paz doesn't really have a lot of bad things to say about Tasha, but she has a lot of bad things to say about Tommy Egan. So, of course, she would be a perfect candidate to step up to the plate. Now, Diana, she's looking for Kane. He's disappeared, and of course, she knows exactly where to go find Kane at. Now, Kane was over old girl's house, one of the little thotty thots that in episode 1, that your boy Kane ended up laying down, as well as off her boyfriend in the same episode. Now, of course, Kane is very pissed off. He's still upset. He doesn't like the way Monet is doing things, and he doesn't really want to go back. But he told Diana, like, look, he will come to the drop just off principle. At the end of the day, he's still there to help out when he, is called. So Kane is planning to go to this drop to make sure things go as planned. Now, Brayden's brother Trace, of course, is running his mouth. And one of the first things he's talking about is actually telling. He's talking about, I'm going to snitch or whatever. Well, dude, if you snitch, it's going to come right back on you, and you cannot trace Tariq to anything, as Tariq was pretty much telling him, the police are on our side. And, Trace did tell Tariq about Riley. He told him about that night, how Riley was in there with him while he was pretty much unconscious. Now Tariq knows, like, okay, I need to put more pressure on her and to watch what she's doing, because we know in the last episode, Riley told Tariq that she accidentally drugged him. Now, Tasha tells Tariq to just stay home. She does not want him coming to court, because it seems like they're putting a lot more pressure on him, mentioning his name all of a sudden a lot. And Tasha knows this. So it is a smart tactic to make sure he stays home at all costs. And hopefully Tariq is going to step up to the plate when it comes to Davis MacLean and Cooper Saxe. Now, of course, Tariq tells Brayden, look, I need you to just stop bringing Riley over here. She's a problem. He's pretty much doing the same thing Ghost did to Tommy when it came to Holly. Like, pretty much just stay away from old girl. He's using these same type of tactics, and 9 times out of 10, let's just be honest, it's not going to end well. I mean, we can go ahead and say that right now. We saw what happened with Ghost and Tommy and Holly, and that wasn't the best ending for all of them, right? And we get to Professor Milgram, and you already know when we talking about Professor Milgram, we talking about a love and sex addiction. That's in her character description, and we already knew, just based off the title of this episode, she was the one that was going to definitely be living up to the hype. And once again, that's exactly what she did. Your boy Zeke, he's getting attached, man. He is getting attached to this cougar, and it's getting kind of scary. Now, Professor Milgram knows the truth. She knows that this cannot get out. Of course, Zeke wants her to meet his Aunt Monet. That's going to be a problem. That cannot get out at all. I'm telling you right now, this story will get out somehow, some way, and it's going to be a problem. Now, Jabari, he decides to just pop up over there out of nowhere, trying to be all special and stuff. And of course, he sees, inside of the room, he sees those condoms on that table, and he automatically assumes it's Tariq. He sees that it's sports being played on TV. He starts to dog out Professor Milgram, talking about what she's doing and stuff like that. Well, dude, you popped up out of nowhere. No one asked you to come over here. Professor Milgram told you she's going to, collect the work that you did the next day, or she said drop the work off at her office, not at her spot. Now, of course, Jabari runs outside. He rips up the original note that he wrote for Tariq and makes a new note talking about it's a professor sleeping with one of the students. This dude is petty. This guy right here, out of everybody in this episode, he pissed me off more than anybody. I mean, you a grown man jealous of a 18-year-old. Like, really? I can't believe it. Now, we know that Lauren and Tariq is going to be teaming up with this new assignment that Professor Milgram that she gave out. And, pretty much she said you're going to be using the 48 laws of power to figure out what your partner's secret is. That's what this whole episode was about. And then no other than Long Neck Malcolm comes up in the room. Long Neck, Oh, Go-Go Gadget neck comes up in there talking about, Lauren, what are you doing? You shouldn't be hanging out with him. I mean, this dude taking pictures. I mean, look at him. Like, what are you doing? And of course, he tells her that Tariq is not right for her and she's going to regret this. Sad part is, he's probably telling the truth that she's probably going to regret this when it's all said and done. But for him to just come up there, unannounced, like, really? Okay, then. We see what you on, Long Neck Malcolm. Now, Tariq, of course, doesn't care about this dude, disrespects him, dogs him out. And then your girl Lauren pretty much ends everything. She says, you know what? I don't want to see you again. You can bounce. Long Neck Malcolm, I'm telling you right now, this is not going to be the last time we see him. And those pictures that he took, they will come back. Trust me, they will come back. Now we get to Tariq, and remember, he is more aware of Riley. He understands exactly what she's doing in the sense that she's looking and she's searching for something. So Tariq wants to follow her now. He's pulling the old ghost type move, following. And now he understands the truth that Cooper Saxe is her uncle. He saw him there, and now we are ready for the adjustments. I've been talking about this for weeks. What is Tariq going to do when he finds out the truth? He finds out the truth, all right, at least part of the truth, and instead of telling the truth to Brayden as far as, okay, Riley is working with Cooper Saxe, he doesn't tell Brayden this. Instead, he tells Brayden a lie that Riley was trying to smash him. This is a chess move right here because he's setting it up because he knows Brayden is not going to believe him, but Brayden is going to go ask his brother, well, at least not ask, but we know that Trace was going to just tell him that Tariq was telling the truth. Tariq is pulling a ghost move right here. This is similar to the whole Ghost and Tommy storyline in the sense as the principles, because remember how Ghost would tell Tommy certain things, but at the end of the day not tell him the full truth to make Tommy do certain things. But then when Tommy finds out the full truth, he is very pissed off and it always creates issues. So we're going to see what's going to happen with Tariq and Brayden, but I'm telling you right now, this was a test. Maybe Tariq should have just told Brayden that, look, she's working with the feds, man. We got to watch her. He didn't have to tell Brayden that he did anything to his father, but he could at least put him on game about Riley, in my opinion. Now we get back to Jay Kelly, and of course, he needs help on his book. He's trying to start chapter 6, and he's trying to think of something, think of another opportunity, another way to make this very interesting. And of course, he thinks, okay, maybe I should get some more information from Tariq. I already don't like the kid. I'm jealous of him. Maybe I should put a little bit of pressure on the kid. So of course, Jabari goes and talks to Tariq, tells Tariq, look, I have another opportunity for you to get into this fellowship program. You was very close anyway. How about you write an assignment about power in relationships or something like that? And, you do that and maybe I can help you out. So, of course, Tariq is going to do this. He's going to write this. And Jabari is probably laughing on the inside because deep down inside, he knows he's just using Tariq. And deep down inside, he knows he's just a nasty, weird-ass character. Can't stand the dude. Then we get to the trial, and of course, Paz is here. And we know Cooper Saxe is going to be asking her questions about Tasha, Ghost, and Tommy. And Paz just came out in the blue and said, look, Tasha told me that Tommy killed Angela. She told me. But the way that Cooper Saxe is wording things and talking to Paz, he's making it seem like Tasha helped set up the whole hit on Angela and stuff like that. He's mixing stuff up. Paz doesn't really have any type of information. We know this, but he's doing a great job at making it seem like Tasha was, or could have been in charge of all of this, right? Now, the crazy thing is this. If you go back to season 5 of Power, Tasha and Tommy did actually plan to take out Angela, right? Remember this at the end of season 5. That was the game plan. When they had Angela at her apartment, they was about to take her out, but Tasha stopped Tommy for finishing the job. But we know that Tommy still did it later on. But it's just, a little Easter egg right there, because even though she didn't set Angela up to die when Tommy really did it, it's just funny that Cooper Saxe would ask those questions. Now, of course, Paz she's second guessing herself, like, man, did Tasha really have something to do with this? Did she really help out and play me the whole time? Of course, Davis MacLean is pissed off. He's like, I know he's not asking these questions. I know, he's not thinking that he's going to get over on me. So, of course, Davis MacLean, he goes up there. He clears everything up instantly. He says, look, you don't have anything. First you say Tommy killed Angela, or first you said Ghost killed Angela, then you say Tommy killed Angela. You don't know what you're talking about at the end of the day. You have no proof. Plain and simple. End of case. You don't have anything, right? So that was pretty much over. But Paz is asking herself those questions like, man, did Tasha really set this up? Now, Cane, of course, he gets pulled over while he's walking. And like I told you guys, the guy that got away at that church definitely says something about Cane and the GTG. He saw the tat, so he knew the connection, right? That's how he ended up getting pulled over and brought in. On Diana, she's worried because Cane has not showed up yet. They're supposed to be meeting up with DC Joe. And she's like, man, where is he at? So instead of waiting, she says, you know what? Let me just hit up Tariq. I already wanted to meet up with him anyway. And she sends Tariq her way. That way they can have a little bit more muscle and have eyes on this DC Joe dude, because they definitely going to need extra people there. We don't know what this dude is all about. Now, Brayden, of course, he gets the truth. Well, a false truth, because your boy Trace tells him, look, Tariq wasn't lying, that Riley is a little dotty thot, and she was all over me and, of course, Tariq. Now, Brayden is thinking that this actual truth is the truth, which we know is not the truth. It's a lie. We know that Riley really was getting information from Tariq, and she wanted nothing to do with Trace. But Brayden is believing this now. It's sad, right? Because we know when he finds out the truth, he's going to be very pissed off. Now, Tariq, he goes up and he meets with Diana. He's there. They're downstairs waiting on Monet to handle business. And as Tariq goes and answers his phone, talking to Professor Milgram, we know that your girl Diana, which we can go ahead and start calling her Dirty Diana, she's all up in his stuff once again, looking and trying to get information. And of course, she sees the note that Jabari wrote about a professor at the school sleeping with one of the students. And, to make long story short, the two make up and they start making out and stuff like that. But we know it's about to go down because upstairs, different things are happening, right? We got DC Joe. I mean, look at this guy. Look at this. I mean, just look at him for 1 second. This guy right here is talking about what he is going to be doing and what Monet is not going to be doing. Monet has to tell him this is not no negotiation. You're going to do exactly what I tell you to do. I'm Monet Tejada. They have a disagreement about the product. And the dude was really just running his mouth. He thought because Monet is a female, he can run all over her. He has the audacity to pull out a little knife. Like, dude, you pulling out a knife to a gunfight. Monet pulls out the strap, of course, after they had a little scuffle. And then she pops the boy. This is what he gets. I mean, I don't understand why he was so aggressive. And why he was doing and being so extra. Like, dude, calm down. Like, you're trying to make a business transaction and you're doing entirely too much, especially out of territory that's not yours in the first place. Now, of course, they need help moving the body. Kane's not there. Tariq is like, look, I got this. I can help out with this. Don't worry. And all this is doing right here is creating more trust between Tariq and Monet and Tejada's family. She's going to trust him even more, especially after doing this for her, helping out. And of course, Kane is going to be very pissed off when he finds out that Tariq was the one helping them out. And he wasn't. Now, Brayden, of course, he goes and confronts Riley, tells her, just tell him the truth about what's really going on, about her trying to mess around with Tariq. And she tells him, look, she ain't trying to mess around with Tariq. That was a lie. And that, she pretty much just couldn't really tell him the full truth. She couldn't say I was trying to get information on Tariq from my Uncle Nancy. She couldn't say that. Brayden gave her a chance to do it, but she could not, expose her uncle. Eventually, Brayden will find out the truth, but as of right now, he's pissed off at her and told her she has to go. And, of course, Drew, all of a sudden, he's hard. Now, it shouldn't be no surprise that Drew knows how to shoot a gun. I mean, he's a part of a major drug family. So it should be no surprise. Your boy Tariq, he was tripping out when the blood hit him. He was pretty much trying to play Tariq like, man, do you even know how to shoot a gun and all this and that? Well, he doesn't know that Tariq already caught 2 bodies. And one of them was a cop and one of them was Ghost, of course. Now, Drew, he becomes very serious when he's shooting this shot, trying to make it look like an accident. And, of course, we know when Kane finds out about all this, he's going to be pissed off. Now, speaking of Kane, he's downtown or wherever the hell he's at, and he has to make a call. The call is to Officer Ramirez. And Officer Ramirez actually helps out Cane. Cane explains to him, like, look, Monet is changing a whole lot of things, what she is. And the thing is, Officer Ramirez can see exactly what Cane is talking about about Monet changing certain things up. He puts a whole lot of blame on Tariq, talking about she's trusting this kid, Tariq St. Patrick, and stuff like that. We need to pretty much take this kid out the picture. So we're going to pretty much be expecting Officer Ramirez to get his hands dirty and try to help out Cane when it comes to Tariq and mess everything up. This storyline is about to blow up. Now Tariq has a lot of people on his back. Sad thing is he doesn't even know it right now. Officer Ramirez, of course, he goes to Monet and he's trying to explain things for Cane. And Monet is like, look, you don't have to speak for him. Let him talk. Monet asks him, did the cops do this to your face? And of course, Cane says, no, they didn't. Now, Monet already knows, like, okay, so Lorenzo must have did this. After I already told him and asked him about what really happened, what really was said, Lorenzo did this to my son. And I'm going to have a conversation with him because Monet is pissed off. She knows Cane is very emotional and he takes things very serious and she cannot risk losing him as of right now. Now, of course, Tariq has another opportunity to get up in Lauren's cheeks. And when he was walking back, I already knew what was up. I can tell the way Lauren was dressed, how she was talking, that she wanted it, right? Now, we know based off what Tariq had on, he had blood on him. We already knew that nothing was about to happen. They were going to make it seem like something was going to happen. Just based off Tariq's history, something always happens, right? Especially when he's about to get up in those cheeks. Now he has to back off because he knows he has that blood on that shirt. He cannot allow Lauren to see it. Now, me personally, I would have been like, hold up, let me go to the bathroom real quick. Let me just freshen up. I would have took that shirt, threw it somewhere, went outside and handled my business. But I'm not Tariq. Tariq decided to say, you know what? I can't do this right now. Now, of course, Tariq, he says, look, he told her the secret about the professor smashing one of the students and about the whole assignment. Lauren does not want to hear nothing about that. She wants to smash, plain and simple. Tariq has to use this excuse to get her up off of him, and that way he can create some more time to get rid of this shirt. But I'm telling you right now, this whole shirt thing, it may come back, but Tariq should already know, just based off his past, how to get rid of evidence. That was the first thing Tasha taught him, right, when he shot Ray Ray, to get rid of the evidence. So we shall see if he does it. Now, of course, Lauren, she takes this note to Professor Milgram about, a professor smashing one of the students. And she already knows Jabari did it because she made Jabari write these little secrets out to all the students. And Jabari's laughing about it like it's all funny and stuff. Like, you were messing around with Tariq and all this and that. She explains to him like, okay, it's a lie for one. And secondly, I can pretty much put you out that you were smashing one of your grad assistants. So you don't want to do this. You know what I'm saying? You don't want these problems. Jabari was just getting on my nerves the whole episode. I hope he gets his just due soon. Now, Davis MacLean, he goes to Cooper Saxe and explains to him what is going on. Why did you do what you had to do out there? Cooper Saxe explains to him, look, he had to make it seem like he was on Tasha's case because Stephen Ott was out there and he has to protect his job at the end of the day. But I'm telling you right now, they're not going over things like this. The true actions happen when they get out there in that courtroom. We see the true agendas of both of these characters. Now, of course, Cooper Saxe says he does have some more information and it's on Epiphany, and he's going to try to get her to talk. Try to get her to pretty much rat out Tasha. Will she do it in this next episode? She may say some stuff because we know that Epiphany wants to protect her son at all costs. Now, Monet has her final conversation with Lorenzo in this episode, tells him, look, you know what I'm saying, you need to just chill out. This kid, he's mine. I know everybody took this conversation to heart because it's that theory going on out there that Lorenzo was not Cane's true father. We're going to find out if that's true. We know Courtney Kemp said what she said about Lorenzo being their father, but at the end of the day, why would she even spoil anything like that for you? They are making it seem like it could be something between, Cane, Monet, and Lorenzo. But as of right now, that is yet to be seen. It's just small little hints at that theory. She tells him, Don't do nothing else to him. I got this. You know what I'm saying? I'm running stuff out here. Now, Tariq decides to get to this work. He wants to get into this fellowship program. Of course, he has to write about the nature of power in relationships. And you already know when he writes this, Jabari is going to try to use this information for his own benefit. And of course, Brayden comes in and tells Tariq, look, he's pretty much done with Riley. He found out the truth because, of course, his brother Trace told him that it was true. I'm telling you right now, this storyline is going to blow over, and hopefully it does not ruin Tariq and Brayden's relationship, because Brayden really, he really wants to, be close to Tariq and not lie about certain things. But it seems like Tariq is pulling, pages out of Ghost's book, not fully telling the truth to get what he wants. Tariq really didn't have no excuse to lie. He could have easily told Brayden that, look, Riley is working with the feds, plain and simple. But as I told you guys, we shall see how that storyline unfolds. Now, Paz, she goes and visits Tasha, and she's talking to her like, man, like, did you do all this stuff for real? Like, what's going on? Tasha has to explain to Paz, like, look, Cooper Saxe made it seem that way, but I did not, of course, kill Ghost at all. And I didn't play you. I didn't set nothing up with Angela. It's all lies. Now Paz tells Tasha, like, look, I was at Truth that night. I did go, but I thought about you and I thought about everything, so I did not do it. And of course, Paz tells Tasha, look, Angela stuck around too long, and you saw what happened to her. Trying to protect Ghost, you saw what happened to her by sticking around too long. She should have just protected herself. She tells Tasha, maybe you should do that. Maybe you should, do the opposite. Get out while you can. Whoever you are protecting, because you know who did this, maybe you should protect yourself. And and that's the one thing, because we know Tasha is going to do whatever she has to do to protect Tariq at all costs. She doesn't want anything bad happening to him. She doesn't want him locked up. Deep down inside, she blames a lot of this stuff on herself. So of course she does not want nothing bad happening to Tariq. But that would be a crazy twist if Tasha switches up and says, you know what? Maybe Tariq should go to jail. Pull a straight Ghost on him and say maybe he should get locked up for what he did. That would be crazy, but I do not see Tasha doing that. She wants to protect Tariq at all costs. Like I told you guys, that would be a hell of a twist, but it's something I don't see happening. She's already in it too deep. This episode was a build-up to me. I think it's a great build-up for episode 8. What you saw in episode 7 was a whole lot of elements from the 48 Laws of Power book. We know this, and we saw that from different characters. Now it's time to get to episode 8. It's about to get crazy, y'all. I'm telling you right now, these last 3 episodes is going to be fireworks. Kane Tejada is coming for Tariq. That's going to be a topic of discussion that we have to talk about, because Kane, he wants to beat Tariq in certain ways. He doesn't like how Monet is treating him, and he hates that Monet is putting all this trust in Tariq, that Monet is trusting Tariq, and he has issues with that. So in order to neutralize that, he plans on taking out Tariq, clicking up with Officer Ramirez, getting into his head, and making some crucial decisions down the line. The question is, who will survive when it's all said and done? It's definitely going to be the Tejadas family versus the Tejadas family, and Kane versus Tariq. That is coming. A lot of different things are going to unfold. But you guys let me know, what do you think of this episode? I thought it was a good episode. It's a good build-up episode for what's to come. As I told you guys earlier, episode 8 usually are very good episodes. If you don't remember, Power Season 6, episode 8, what happened? Lakeisha was gone. Power Season 5, episode 8, Kanan Starks gone. Now what's going to happen in Power Book 2 Ghost? Will they continue the tradition? Will it continue to be a major character that is to go in episode 8? That is yet to be seen, but like I told you guys, it's going to be a hell of a story, man. It's going to be a hell of an ending, and I cannot wait to see the conclusion. But thank you for all the love, all the support. I'm going to catch you guys later on. Stay tuned. We have some more videos dropping for you guys tomorrow and this week. We're going to break down more storylines and get you ready for episode 8. But keep supporting your boy, and I will continue to bring you more Power Book 2 Ghost content in the future. But it's your boy Mark Dark. I'm out. Peace.